RuneScape. Welcome back to my second video. So, I gotta say, first off, thank you guys so much for tuning in to my first video. I did not expect it to blow up like that. Um, yeah, it's really surreal. I didn't actually think it was, gonna reach anybody, to be honest. I just got off work. I work from home, so I'm able to check throughout the day. I have that luxury, and just seeing people comment on it, it's kind of surreal to me, right? I think I had 4 comments on it. Yeah, let me pull it up real quick. Um, yeah, shouts out Matt Grapes, Sir JM, Average RuneScaper Official, and the Mining Goat. Like I said in that last video, my goal was to get 1 view that wasn't me or my girlfriend, and I think we got about 100 views. So on top of the 100 views, we got a few likes, a few comments. It's really cool to see, and I like seeing your guys' feedback. When somebody was talking about they wanted to hear more about the basketball side, so I think that's what I'm gonna kind of talk about briefly today. Is just talk about basketball. Um, Coaching aspect. I'm not sure about my coaching status this year. I say that because I've been coaching with my friend who I used to play. We played with growing up, and we've been coaching since we've been head coaches together since 2020. And this is just for youth basketball, U16. It's not like high school. It's nothing serious. But I mean, it is serious to the kids, right? And like we want to be able to help these kids develop their basketball skills, just develop as people on and off the court, right? And we always kept that in mind when we were running our practices and running through games and stuff. We want these because they were U16 is 14 and 15-year olds, so that's kind of the age where they're starting to mature a little bit more, and you can kind of see that in their behavior and stuff. And us being young coaches, they really did look up to us. So we always had to be a great example for these young men, and it's really cool to see, especially. So we started coaching in so our first year was the fall of 2019, and then our season got cut short because of the virus that I'm not sure I want to mention. So our season got cut short. So we never got to experience that in our first season, which was like the full season, which was a bit odd coming back into. But then as things started to open back up in our area, and people were getting a bit more comfortable wearing masks and following these different procedures so that we can actually run events and go outside and stuff. I forget where I was going with that, but it's it's cool to see these kids grow up. And I'll give you one example. We coached this one kid. I'll call him Steve. I don't want to actually say his name on here. So um, Steve on okay, actually let me go back a bit more. So there was 2 kids. Let's call one Steve and one Carlos. So this was early on into the season. We get an email from one of the parents saying that their kid was being bullied on Snapchat from one of their team members. So Steve was getting bullied by Carlos. And like how old were we at the time? We would have been 22-year-olds at the time. So, we're still pretty young. We're like, how the hell do we handle this situation? Like, we don't want that to happen on our team, right? Like, this is a basketball team. Everybody should be working together, coming together. And so what we did is at the beginning of the game, as a team, we talked about how teammates act, right? We want everybody to be accountable for each other's actions. We wanted, everybody to treat each other with respect, trust each other on and off the court, right? And then we pulled Carlos aside and told him we were going to sit him for the first half. We said, we know what you did. There's no tolerance for that on our team. And obviously, we talked to his parents as well about that. They were obviously fine with our decision because they don't want their kid being a dickhead, right? Um, so yeah, so getting back to it. So we had that one issue on our team which resolved it, and so we kind of have a soft spot for Steve in the sense, because we were kind of looking out for him when he was on our team, and come full circle, um, he's playing on a men's league team with us right now. So it's cool to see him, grow up, graduate high school, get a job, and now he's playing on a team with his two former coaches in a men's league. And yeah, it's just, and that was one of the um, first kids who played on our men's league. We've actually played with a few different kids on our men's league team that we've coached. So it's kind of funny. We're joking now that we're only coaching so that we can recruit players to our men's league. But yeah, it's really cool to see, when you grow up and when you coach basketball, and not just basketball, when you're involved in any sort of mentorship, where you're kind of a leader in your leadership role. And it's really cool to see how people take that and use it in their life. Like, maybe they didn't hear a single word you said and they hated you and do everything to spite you. But at the end of the day, they're still working on themselves and becoming a better person. So is it really that bad? Why they do it, right? So, uh, yeah, I don't want to get too philosophical right now. It's only my second video, and I'm mostly just recording this to say thank you to the viewers and thanks to everybody who commented. Um, yeah. Uh, what else did I want to say? Yeah, it's there was one comment about the sweaty gameplay, and they appreciated me just not editing the content and it being not very sweaty. And that's good. That's good to hear that not everybody just wants to see, no monkey three tick nexing whatever the fuck to to get 10 mil an hour or whatever, right? Like I'm just sitting here catching kebits, spotted kebits. I've upgraded from the salamanders. I'm now at 44 hunter. I think I'm gonna stop once I get 48. That way I can at least do some rumors, and then I'll get back on the Slayer grind a bit. But yeah, basketball. Oh, that's another thing. That's what I wanted to say. So yeah, coaching wise, all that being said, and how rewarding it is to be a basketball coach and be able to teach, be able to pass like my basketball knowledge onto these kids, and lead by example on how not only people should act on the court but off the court as well. I want people to be members of society that you can interact with, and they're not dicks, and everybody's nice, treats each other with respect, but they can also do their own thing. So that all that being said, I'm not sure I'm going to be coaching again this year. And it's nothing against the kids. This past year I actually we had a really great team, and I really loved the team. It was such a fun year to coach. I just I'm not sure I can make that commitment anymore. We So life update: me and my partner, we bought our first house in January this year. So on top of just being busy with, we got a lot of stuff around the house we want to do. The house is kind of a bit farther away than I was before, so it makes commuting to, practices and games that much more time consuming. And not to mention, I live in Canada, so the price of gas is insane, which is ironic because we have a lot of oil on our land. So don't want to get too political, but come on, let's lower the gas prices here, Chevron. Fucking, god damn it, don't get me started. And I drive a Civic. That's pretty fuel efficient. So, uh, yeah. So, just just a few different factors. Time commitment, gas prices. Being the two biggest ones for me. I'm just not sure I'm going to be able to make that commitment as a coach because I still want to. I've been playing on this men's league now for a year and a half, and I still want to be able to do that. I'm not sure I'm willing to sacrifice that anymore. Getting out and playing basketball is a huge benefit for me mental health wise. Like, as somebody who works in the software industry, I work remotely from home. The only time I really go out is when I was coaching basketball or I'm going to the gym. Um, so when I started playing basketball, that gives me another reason to start getting out more. And that it's it's hard to put into words how much that benefits you as a person, just getting through the week, having something to look forward to on the weekend. You get to see all I get to see all my buddies. I grew up playing basketball with a lot of these guys on my men's league. I coached a few of them. Yeah, it's just nice. It's just really nice to get out and play like that, and then I can come home and not feel guilty about playing RuneScape for hours. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at on the basketball front. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on basketball and sports in general, and how that's tied into your RuneScape career, if it has at all. I know me personally, I've pretty much been playing RuneScape and basketball for majority of my life, so the two kind of go hand in hand. And if I'm consistent in one, I'm consistent in the other, and if I'm not consistent in one, it's kind of hard to get in back into the other. So that being said, thanks for tuning in again. I'm sure I'll get at least another view. So my goal for my first video was 1 view. So my goal for this one is 2 views and 1 like. I think we can do that. I think we can do that. So thanks again for tuning in. This has been RuneScape. Don't forget to drop that like and subscribe. Thanks.